They say depression feels like drowning. You're trapped, gasping for air, but the water just keeps rising. Imagine being a leading psychologist, a scholar whose work reverberates through the halls of academia, and yet you're locked in a battle with your own mind. This was the reality for William James, a titan in the field of psychology and a co-founder of pragmatism. His contributions to the world of knowledge were immense, but in the shadow of his success, he grappled with a darkness that many of us know all too well: depression. In his own words, he described it as a suffocating black cloud, a relentless adversary that drained the joy out of his life. His private journals, a stark contrast to his public persona, reveal a man wrestling with self-doubt and crippling negativity. His struggle, a true descent into darkness. But remember, every descent is a potential ascent. And it's in this darkness that William James started to see a glimmer of light. James stumbled upon a radical idea that changed everything he thought he knew. In the midst of his struggle against the tides of depression, William James, the father of American psychology, discovered a profound truth about the human mind. This truth was so transformative that it altered not just his perspective, but the course of his life. Now, we've all heard the saying, mind over matter, right? Well, James took that concept to a whole new level. He realized that the mind can be more than a passive receiver of thoughts. Instead, it can be an active creator of them. This was the birth of a philosophy known as pragmatism, which James co-founded with Charles Sanders Peirce. In the realm of pragmatism, the emphasis is not on what is ideal or absolute, but on what works. It's about finding practical solutions to real-world problems. It's about transformation, progress, and the power of the human spirit to overcome obstacles. So, how did this philosophy help James battle his own demons? Well, he realized that he had the power to control his thought process. He learned that his mind was not a victim of thoughts, but a master of them. And this was his ray of hope, his beacon in the storm. Now, you might be wondering, can we really control our thoughts? Well, according to James, the answer is a resounding yes. He believed that by actively choosing our thoughts, we can shape our realities. We can choose to focus on the positive, to cultivate a mindset of optimism and resilience. We can choose to see the silver lining in every cloud, to view obstacles as opportunities. This is the power of pragmatism. It's about taking control of your thoughts, of your mind, and ultimately of your life. It's about turning despair into hope, darkness into light, and failure into success. He realized that our thoughts aren't just fleeting wisps of smoke. They have power, the power to sink us or lift us. So, the next time you feel like you're drowning in negative thoughts, remember the philosophy of William James. Remember that you have the power to change your thoughts, and in doing so, change your life. So how can we harness this power to overcome depression's suffocating grip? This was exactly what James pondered. He knew he had to change his thoughts to change his life. But how? How could he control something as fleeting and elusive as a thought? Let's dive into his mind and explore. James began by observing his thoughts, like a scientist studying a fascinating specimen. Instead of getting caught up in the whirlwind of negativity, he distanced himself from it. He realized that his thoughts were just that, thoughts. They were not facts. They were not him. This was his first step towards freedom. Next, he practiced what we now call reframing. He took his negative thoughts and flipped them. He turned "I can't do this" into "I can learn to do this." He changed "I'm a failure" into "I'm learning from my mistakes." He transformed his thoughts from destructive to constructive, from chains to wings. But he didn't stop there. James took it a step further. He realized that he could not only change his thoughts, but also choose them. He could decide what to think. He could tune his mind like a radio, choosing which station to listen to. He chose positivity. He chose hope. He chose life. James's breakthrough was monumental. He proved that we are not helpless victims of our thoughts. We are the masters. We can choose our thoughts, and by doing so, we can change our lives. This was his secret weapon against depression. This was his lifeline. But here's the best part. We all have this power. It's not exclusive to brilliant psychologists or philosophers. It's not hidden away in dusty old books. It's right here, right now, within our grasp. We can choose our thoughts. We can change our lives. What secret did James unlock in the depths of his own mind? The power of thoughts. The power to choose. The power to change. Stick around, because the answer might just change your life.